up and welcome to the Creative Cult Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Rodney.
And I'm Kegan.
And this is, again, the Creative Cult Podcast. Make sure you guys check us out to just start this off on Instagram or Facebook or both. And our @ is Creative Cult Pod. You can also check us out at tccult.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you know that that's where you can find the video. And if you're listening to this, you know you can pretty much find us anywhere. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, also iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, pretty much everything. So with that being said, we have our very first kind of guest, also somebody that is one of the producers of the show and one of our really good friends. We've been friends for like 18 years, 20 years, something like that. His name is Kris Turner. Not only a friend, he is an amazing photographer. He is, is it CEO of Star Image Photography? Or is it Star Image Photography or Star Image Photos? Because I know you got stickers of the one.
LLC? Or?
Photos on Instagram.
Okay.
The photography was taken.
So you can check you out at Star Image Photos on Instagram.
And I think my website, I had to do photos because photography was taken.
Did you build a website off any other platform? Or was it just like you literally just built the website?
No, yeah. So we had to use the photos.
Right on.
That sucks.
Based
Because
off that.
when we were setting up this our website, we ran into that as well. We were like, okay, we want everything to be TC Cult, for everything. And it ended up being basically for most, but then it was like some we had to use Creative Cult Pod. Or it was like somebody had already taken it. Like, what? Somebody already took TC Cult?
It's obviously not a live pod, though. So, I mean, it's kind of a given. It's like, okay, this is a podcast. That's what pod's for.
I think that's an issue that a lot of people nowadays are coming up with. I mean, because so many things are taken.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you have something completely new, the name's going to be taken on some platform.
Well, it's because people
sure.
buy like website domains that they don't even
Don't
use.
be started on that. Yeah.
And you've got all these like Finstagrams, which are like fake Instagrams. People are like, you can find me at, this, whatever. And then they've got like a fake one. You're like, you don't need that. Like, I need this for my model shots. And you guys have Finstagrams?
I may.
What?
It's just all my name, though, so it's pretty easy. If you search for my name, they're all on there.
They're all model shots of you?
Yeah,
They're
basically.
selfie model shots?
Just posing in the
Do you
mirror
do that?
mainly.
So with both of you guys, I got a question for you guys. So being photographers, videographers, creatives, do you guys take pictures of yourself a lot or not really? Are you typically behind the camera?
So it's said that a true photographer doesn't ever get in front of the camera. That's what I've heard it like on f-stop class and that kind of thing. But like you won't do that. But I mean, typically it's the opposite though. Most photographers actually get in front of the camera a little bit. But
I never do except for family pictures. Like we just had some Christmas pictures done.
I didn't see you on those or any of them.
Facebook, what? Profile picture right now.
Your
Facebook
and you're in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So then I have to be.
Well, he's not actually in it. He's taking the picture, but then he's photoshopping himself into the picture.
But
okay.
Otherwise, I prefer not to be in front of it.
Right on.
Yeah.
So speaking of Christmas, that just came up right around the corner. Or we just passed it, I guess. And New Year's is coming up right around the corner. Crazy story for Christmas or New Year's. You guys got either? Now we're in our 30s. We should have more than one. If we don't, you're not living life.
Crazy stories. Yeah. That I didn't slip and die and crack a hip.
You shouldn't have
late 30s.
Here,
yeah.
I'll start. I was dating this girl briefly. This was I thought it was a year ago, and I talked to my brother, and he's like, "No, that was actually 2 years ago." Long story less long. You're gonna hear me say that a lot because my stories go on fucking tangents.
They do.
And the less long stories are still 5 minutes long. But long story less long. I went on a date with this girl a few times, a lot in common, and she was like really into old authentic things, like old garments. And so she's like, I have this, and I brought her with me to the New Year's party that we're gonna be at the Crystal Ball. Also, side note,
shout out.
If you guys, Crystal Ball, go to Crystal Ball MN for tickets. If you're looking for a New Year's party in Minneapolis area, it is the longest running New Year's party, and it's ran by Dan Vargas, who's a great guy as well. So
IDS, where is that?
It's in, they changed the last few years. It's the Lumber Exchange building.
Okay.
But this girl had this garment that was like 100 years old, horrible looking. Horrible.
Flower pattern, large flower pattern.
Yeah. Absolutely the worst garment I've ever seen. And I had to lie the whole night and say it was amazing.
Was this 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah.
You were there?
Yeah, the white dress.
Oh yeah. And she was so mad about like you. Like, I'm gonna die.
We're back. It might be the candles.
I remember you wanted your picture taken so bad, and so did she. And then I took it, and my camera broke. Like it was that bad.
Oh, she was pissed, dude.
The Nikon broke?
Yeah, it just shattered into like dust.
Dude, is it this? What am I smelling? Is it this candle that's making me hack up a fucking lung?
Try it. I don't think so.
Is that?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I almost
feel
gagged.
good?
No, I actually kind of gagged.
Really?
It smells good, but it smells like
Where did these come from?
allergic.
Where'd you get them
like
from?
I'm allergic.
Like a little boutique shop. And so I looked.
Is that
underneath
why
and
you
I'm
were
like,
so late?
No.
You were
I was late because
shopping?
I forgot these.
Oh,
I had to go back to the middle of the cornfield where I am. Yeah, like there's no brand on them. They're not branded.
Oh, well, anyways, get back to
Very
it. Sorry
expensive.
about hacking in you guys' ears. But that's how we're going to roll. We're just doing this authentic. You know, instead of cutting and
Streaming
pasting
live.
these things back and forth, I might cough because I'm human. And guess what?
Creatives cough.
Everybody's sick right now, dude.
Yeah.
Have you noticed if you're not sick right now, you're probably going to die in a month.
Yeah.
Like if you don't get
Or you're
this
a
sick,
cyborg,
this virus of fucking flu that everybody's getting,
Yeah.
you're dead.
It's
You're
just
dead
it's
by
so
then.
small. Like air quality is just real shitty right now.
that
outside,
just
'cause
means
I'm
if
in
you're
the
not getting this cold that's going around, you already have a cold that's worse than that. That's fighting it off. So you're not gonna get it.
You have
You're already
viruses in
dying.
combat, head-to-head combat inside of you. Yeah.
So anyway, garment, horrible. You guys, anything crazy like that?
Nothing to that level. That's pretty good.
No dating a girl that you briefly know and bringing her to a huge
Bad
party
flower patterns or something like that.
that gets too drunk and gets mad at your friend who you've known forever and who's a photographer because
Give it.
because you're not giving him enough attention or you're taking too much of his time or not taking pictures of them together and
Give it another week though.
she was so crazy.
New Year's is still coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're still. It's the crazy stories are still yet to happen.
Did
Yet
you
to
guys get what you wanted for Christmas? Were you good? Did Santa?
I bought a lot of things for myself this year.
What was the biggest thing you bought?
I mean, I got the 5 on the watch, which is kind of
Ooh.
nice. Dude, it's crazy. You can just talk. It picks up. No, shout out to Apple.
Hey Siri.
Yeah.
Just hey Siri people all day.
Oh, it did. It popped up.
No.
What?
Yeah, it did. It
I
actually
just saw
did.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it picks up
Whoa.
everywhere. That's what sucks, dude. You need to be able to change it. I got some Google.
Don't
stuff
get
for
me
the
started
first
on
time.
this. Yeah, like the interaction's great, but it's too much.
So you wear it on your left. Are you right-handed?
I'm right-handed. Do you where do you wear your watch?
Oh god, dude, weird.
I'm not wearing mine right now.
And even
Are
if
they
you-
in communication right now?
Even if you silence things, it's still like
I just didn't know like if you were right-handed and that picked up when you were left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
No,
it would talk to you while you were busy.
I got cellular.
so you got an
The vibration. It's definitely. I got cellular now, which is
Okay.
dope, dude. Because you don't have to have the phone by you, and you can just answer
Isn't
phone
that
calls.
what you have too, Chris?
I don't have cellular. I could put it on
Because
it,
for the
but
longest
I
time,
never
Chris
did.
is like an advocate of the iWatch 1 or Apple Watch 1.
Not
That's what I
wearing it.
had forever. I had to do, and it
He's
was
like, you don't need anything
amazing.
better than this. And
It
I'm
was
like,
amazing.
I think you
The
probably
3 is nice, and I think from the 4 up, they've gotten even like way better.
It's so the volume and having conversations. I can just literally. I tried it, talking to my family over the holidays. Going back to that, like hand at my side, walking around the room. I can have a conversation with my wrist, and it sounds like I'm on speakerphone, holding my phone out in front of me.
Oh,
That's
man.
how cool it is.
I should I got to get a new phone anyway because mine's complete
Just get a
garbage.
watch,
as
dude.
You guys all know.
Freaking get a watch.
I should just get a watch and throw my phone in the garbage. Oh, you
Yeah.
need the phone still, don't you?
Nope, not with cellular.
Oh, Dick Tracy.
Dude, yes,
Tracy,
yes.
there we go.
It's incredible. I love it. So I don't bring my phone around anymore.
Dude, and I'm hanging out with Pruneface, dude.
Pruneface
He's one of the villains.
on Dick Tracy.
like-
Yeah.
That's you went like this. And I was
I'm like, what?
Jesus,
Am I a
that's
prune?
really savage.
Like,
Well, the joke is actually he does have a prune face, so his face looks like a prune.
Introducing Chris, our
So,
production
what,
guy.
anything for Christmas that you got that's kind of exciting?
no, but
Did you get your kids or your wife anything exciting?
What are those like power
Yeah.
cars? That's what people are getting their kids
Well,
these days. You jump on the bandwagon.
funny story. So my daughter,
It's not going to be funny, just prefacing. But
No.
tell the story anyway.
she went up to me before Christmas and asked me if I wanted Olaf pants. Olaf from Frozen,
Frozen.
right?
Okay, yep.
And
Olaf.
Olaf, yeah. And I just said,
Is that the snowman?
yeah.
Okay.
I said, yeah, I do. That sounds really cool. And she goes, oh, cool. That's what I got for Christmas. And I've had to wear them. And she's like, oh, you like your pants, don't you? I said, yeah, I do.
Are they just floating Olafs on them? It's just like a bunch of
Yeah, but
like
they're
a
actually
pattern?
really comfortable.
Ooh, like
I
brushed
have
cotton or
them on
something?
right now underneath my pants. I haven't taken them off.
Bullshit.
Yeah, they're.
I want. Show.
can't tell
want
you.
to
Yeah.
Let's see. I feel like this is
Look.
bullshit.
See them?
That's bullshit. That was just a leg.
Socks,
Okay.
maybe.
I told you it was
I
gonna be
must
funny.
have changed today.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice, though.
I feel like, first of all, now that I know that you're a liar and you're not wearing Olaf pants, do you?
That was straight face. I
Do
believe
you
it for a
even have
second.
children?
What's
Or is
going
this
on
a
up there?
story you're
though?
making up to feel better about yourself?
No. That was.
So aside from Christmas, there's New Year's coming up, and I know I'm going to be DJing the Crystal Ball that we previously mentioned, and you're going to be doing some of the photography on the red carpet for that, right?
Yep.
Are you going to
and-
float around and do photography too as well? Or?
I think the red carpet goes for 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll be floating.
Cool.
Just to get.
What are you going to do?
different shots here
You're going to strategy on the red carpet. What are you going to do for that?
Are you gonna be wearing your Olaf pants when you're doing it? Since Olaf's
Please
floating on your
do.
pants, you'd be floating.
Yes.
No.
And then be featured in some of your own stuff. Going back to that.
No Olaf pants. Yeah. 7-foot parabolic Westcott. Strobe.
As
Battery
we
powered.
all know about that. So it's good. Obviously,
for,
guys.
for safety reasons, battery powered.
Nice.
No cords.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
that's it.
Nice.
That's all I roll with that.
Nice.
It's kind of the same setup you ran with last year, right?
Last year I was corded, so I was plugged in. But yeah, same umbrella.
And that turned out really well. Like if you go to
Stuff looks sharp.
crystalballmn.com, you can see some of last year's pictures. They look really good. Like
Yeah,
it took a while for him to put them up. I think he used them. He waited till to promote this event this year with last year's photos, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So a
But,
lot of stuff's going up right now. That
Yeah,
you
no,
just
it's
shot.
he
Nice.
used there's like hundreds of his photos and stuff at the bottom, which is great.
Yeah, would you think like we'd bring someone who was mediocre onto the show and actually on our own staff that they wouldn't rock socks?
Yeah, and
Full of
actually,
fans.
how I met Dan Vargas, he's the guy who throws the event. I met him through you.
That's right.
You were going to be
Amazing
potentially
tie.
shooting
I still remember that amazing tie meeting.
video for Crystal Ball. Like this is like 6 or 7 years ago. 'Cause I've
Actually, I
done
was
Crystal
looking
Ball
for an
every
excuse
year.
to fly a drone around inside a building with a bunch of people in it. I think is actually what that went down with. And you were DJing. And then, did you DJ that year as well?
I did. That was the first year I did. Yeah,
That's
and
freaking
I've
cool.
been there every year since. Yeah, it's
Cool.
hey, cool. What is it?
Cling.
Hey, we're doing a professional podcast here. We've got thousands
Things
of
taken
dollars
off.
in gear. We've got
Stuff's
sound
going off.
deadening on the walls. We've literally there's sound deadening
What's going
everywhere
on?
from the walls to the floor, and
Bling.
these motherfuckers
How's stuff
can't
going off?
silence their
It's off.
iPads
It's
and
all the
their
way
phones and
down.
their
It's
watches.
down.
Mine's
It's
off.
down.
It's off.
So that again, we're just running with this, you guys. This is what we're getting. This is what you guys
This is
get.
real. Do you see that? It says mute.
I should probably mute
Yeah. Okay. Here.
Just so we know.
Yeah,
Show the
oops.
camera. No,
A
it's muted.
more professional podcast would have started over, but we're not doing that. So,
No, we're running.
Oh, so
in,
you're gonna have Dan on eventually, aren't you?
I am. Yep. We were trying to get him on before the New Year's because he does this sailing on a whim, and we all know about this. But to explain it to the listeners, he basically he's the guy that throws this. Him and Krista, his partner, they throw the Crystal Ball, and they've thrown like runway shows and a bunch of amazing events. Great people, can't say enough nice things about them. But then they decided to just go like, fuck it, let's just drop everything and literally buy a sailboat and go around the world on a sailboat. Like that's
Badass.
that story in itself is worthy of a podcast. So I'm excited to have those guys in here as soon as we can get them in. But I know that they're on board with that. So
a little busy right now, I imagine.
I gotta imagine too. Yeah, he's really good at getting back to me on things. But yeah, this time of year, for anybody that's done like when it gets down to the wire of an event, whether you're a DJ or photographer or whatever, everybody wants to reach out to you the day or the couple days before, and
God.
you're like, okay, I'm doing this because you're like my friend, but there's also 100 other people that are my friends that are reaching out for questions and things like that.
Yep.
And it's like
You actually have to accomplish
it's
things
so
instead
much.
of just
I think it adds
corresponding.
to stress. Like it makes
oh
it.
God, of course it does. Yeah.
So I try to not contact people on the day of the event. I try to just kind of figure it out. So going to that point, do you guys ever run into that? Like with an event, we've talked about like having to rig up setups and to, I didn't bring this piece of gear, so I got to kind of make it work. Are there any horror stories you guys have from like an event or a photo shoot or a video shoot that you did that you can think about in 2019?
Makeshift lighting effects.
Makeshift lighting, yeah.
Bring-
Got the TP.
The camera doesn't go up there, yeah, but we have our lighting here is a little bit rigged. Speaking of,
So-
with TP Scrim,
I think you could sell that.
Charmin does the sponsor. Shout out to Charmin and our Charmin Scrim.
What about you? You got anything this year that you're just like, I had to kind of rig that to make that work, or
Oh, just forgotten equipment at
Ooh.
Toys for Tots. I forgot a stand.
Oh, okay.
I was able to use, I had other stands, just not a sturdy one. So I used a lighter stand that I'd like to use. And
Have you ever had to put your camera right on a light stand instead of a tripod because you forgot your tripod?
I never tripod.
At all? Oh,
Ever.
Just a free
Ever.
rock star. Right on. We can just move past that then.
Free ball.
Yeah. Right on. That's badass.
You tripod?
You have to sometimes.
I suppose. Yeah.
What do you got going on for New Year's?
I don't know yet. Maybe that crystal ball.
Crystal ball.
We'll see what's going on.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's another thing that's actually relevant to what's going on? Football. So I know you're like a big fantasy football guy, and right now, as we speak, by the time you guys listen to this, it'll be done and over. So you know that the Vikings will have somehow lost, even if they're up 50 points. What's the score right now? You guys got the score of the Vikings versus the Bears, right?
It's coming up.
Because I think right before we started this, we were down 3.
But it's not all.
Oh, it's 18-19.
Oh.
We got 47 seconds left in the Q4. Oh,
18-19.
we're up by 1 point.
Okay, so we're going to lose, obviously. And to all the Minnesota fans that are hating on me right now, I'm just going off of statistics.
Right.
I'm just going off factual
It's painful.
evidence.
Yeah.
Do you guys, now that we actually are like, we're all Minnesota fans. We have a great stadium, a team that is never going to bring us a Super Bowl, but people are still like, cross your fingers, it can happen. We've got this guy.
Hopeful.
Do you ever think, realistically, a genuine question, do you think in our lives the Minnesota Vikings will win a Super Bowl?
No, I'm sorry.
I don't believe so either.
No. And we have a great. We've
had some amazing players, amazing like
opportunities
clusters of players, and I think it's like a curse.
Yeah.
What do you think?
See, and I think they will.
What makes you think that, other than you're absolutely drunk right now?
Optimistic.
I think that they've had all of the players they needed. It's just during like the moment that they have to make a move and they have to like make this play. It never happens.
Yeah.
And
it never comes together.
Whether that's coaching or players or whatever, it's literally been just a play or two that's made it so they didn't make it to the Super Bowl or didn't win.
Do you remember back in the day? I mean, this was like 2001. This is when it was such a painful thing that I had to leave off being like a huge fan. It was Denny Green did the whole take a knee.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was when we were like, what was it, 12-1, or we lost one game that season. I can't remember what it was. That was Chris Carter. That was Randy Moss's like second year, something like that. And he took the notorious knee on like we had a few downs left. It was in the championship game. I can't remember what it was. But literally, it was like, this is a guaranteed situation. They just picked up and walked away from it. It was like, I can't. It was too painful.
Well, I had never heard about that, but
the notorious Denny Green taking
Dennis Green, right? Dennis Green.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I didn't hear about him taking a knee.
I think it was 01.
Was he fired after that? I mean, since he's
no.
Yeah, you got to play to the end.
Yep. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what actually happened that time, but it was to your point that something always comes up or something always happens.
Yeah,
so that's what happened. I was like,
I mean, I think for thus far in life, if we were going to make it to the Super Bowl, it would have been with Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a lot of washed up players, and I know that I know very little about the football. I've played it, when I was younger, but I know very little about the monetary thing that goes into it. Like, if you win a Super Bowl, the people get paid more, then your teams get better, and that's why you see, Tom Brady and these teams that are just like, they're there in the top 2 or 3 spots every single year. It's because they're the best of the best, and they've got like the financial like backing support, and they've got like, I don't know how the draft picks and things like that go, but I think that after you've been successful so many times, like the Bulls and stuff when they three-peated, I think it's you've got like a polished team, you've got good funding, you've got great team morale because you've already done it. It's like, let's just fucking do this again, right?
Yep. And
it's like, we've never done it, so I think we get in our heads, we're like, oh, we got this, but in the back of our heads, are like, it's not gonna be us, because like, what's the likelihood? It hasn't ever happened. Like, I think we've been to the Super Bowl like 3 times in history.
All the way to the actually, and choke
there. I don't even know.
I might be making it up, but it's like it's very small amount of times. I think
they've never won it
6 times or something. Again, these numbers are but it's a very small
Gotten
amount
there.
of times for the amount of time the NFL has been in existence.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but we were actually talking about like fantasy football. Like, me and Chris I've talked about potentially doing fantasy football 2 years, and I was like, I watched The League with John LaJoie
Yes.
and a bunch of other comedians.
So you haven't? You don't?
I don't do fantasy football because I think it's just because I like hanging out with women and real humans, and I like hobbies, and I like to physically be moving around rather than like awesome. Aw.
So
awesome.
excuse, I hear that all the time. I
might
literally
also be
spend possibly 15 minutes a week setting my lineup.
And now I hate it even more. I absolutely hate it more. This is why. Because you're participating in a sport or a competition with no effort. Zero effort. You're like, oh, dude, you know what? I really want to do this. It's going to be really fun. But guess what? I'm going to put in no effort. And guess what? I'm just going to follow the statistics that are telling me what to do already. So it's kind of already predetermined. And the only way it's not predetermined is if you're like taking gambles on like, and you're like, oh, this dude got taken out, or I forgot to put this person in. And it's like,
yeah, you're playing off numbers.
There's less skin in the game.
No, this is what I think fantasy football should be. I like that it exists. I think it needs to get stepped up a notch. I think like that. I'm gonna start doing some visual fucking.
Oh yeah.
I think it needs to get stepped up a notch. I think it needs to be. You need more skin in the game. Like for you to play fantasy football, you need to wager a month of your rent. You have to.
Way more money involved.
You have to.
Mandatory.
Every month. It can't be this $50 buy-in, $100 buy-in.
It would be far more dynamic.
Yeah,
I think
it has to be like,
would be.
And it has because a lot of people don't even play with people that are friends. Like I have, because I think you play with just kind of random people, right?
This last year, yeah.
Yeah, so some people will play with like their 10 friends or 12 friends or whatever it is for a league.
I don't have 10 friends that want to play fantasy with me.
Yeah, well, that's because we all
fantasy friends.
That's because we all turned into adults and we stopped playing childish video games. But yeah, if you ever want to do that, fantasy football, he's the guy.
I was gonna say.
You play Fortnite as well? Any other? You play Pokemon? Pokemon Go? You on
No,
that?
I don't.
PS5 apparently is rumored out.
I'm still on a PS3, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't even have
Um,
PlayStation.
So going from childish things like fantasy football, and I know so many people are gonna be hating on me for
Or
this,
football in general.
to going into like adult things, or more adult things. I don't know. I think Elon Musk is a genius, but I also think he's got like some child in him that just he's trying to like let out.
Marketing a
He's like,
flamethrower that's not a flamethrower.
Yeah.
It's definitely in there.
His Tesla Cybertruck. It's what do you guys think of that? I know it's been out. It's
Cyberquad.
not new by any means. It's been about a month that it's been out now, or the prototype of it, which we all know because we've been to car conventions and things like that. And when they release like a new vehicle, they always change, right? Like they never stay exactly how they are. They have to make it more affordable, and they start cutting corners. I remember when the Chevy Avalanche came out.
Oh.
They made that look like it was going to be Bigfoot. And then when it came out, you're like, it's a Yukon with some plastic on it.
Plastic trim.
Yeah,
instead of, like,
it's
extra
cool.
steel
I
all the
guess
way
it's a
down.
little different look, but like it really wasn't something different.
No.
It was on like a Suburban frame, I think. So what do you guys think with the Cybertruck? And we don't even
Just
have to
a
talk
marketing
about the Cyberquad.
stunt. That's all I have to say about it.
That's what I think
a fucking
too.
marketing stunt. Yeah.
But
And he's
do you
doing
think
well
it's-
with it.
Do you think so? What do you think about it? But then also, do you think it is fucking with the system or scamming the system? Because there are people that are actually putting in money into like when it's going to be produced, and there's no actual date that is coming out. It could be 4 years from now, and you put money down to get this vehicle.
He's not your standard. The stuff that he's done before, like him just going on Joe Rogan and like apparently like he lost a bunch of market shares as a result of smoking pot on Joe Rogan's show.
Do you think that was calculated? I think that was a calculated decision.
Probably. That's what I'm saying. Like he's literally doing moves that are unprecedented. He's doing strange things on the business end that are like not standardized.
What do you think about that, Chris?
Well, yeah, and exactly like when the glass broke. I don't think that was a random like.
Of course not.
Oh, geez, we didn't test that before. You know, like of course
they probably shot that thing 85 times.
I think that the truck is going to look completely different.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's still going to be as a sharp of edges as it has right now? It's very
no,
stealth fighter from like 2000 or
but
something.
I still think it's going to be somewhat sharp. I don't think it's going to have paint, just like the Cybertruck, because with the value they said starting at $39,000, he's trying to get a truck under $40,000 that can beat every truck out there, and the Cybertruck can, but
There's no fucking way that the paint is what's putting it over the edge, or like
No.
the $2 on the paint.
Paint's
that they
expensive
spent.
though. Like,
They've
what's the
knocked
new-
off, $30,000,
Dude, what's the-
$40,000.
There's a Mustang. It's got like a $10,000 paint stripe option. I saw that come down in Car and Driver. on my
Yeah,
feed.
but getting some straight black or white paint
with
can't cost
with
that
how many
much.
issues
If
there.
Mako's doing paint jobs for $700, there's no fucking way.
you know, there's just spray paints in the back, and
Yeah.
they just burn
You're
two
like
spray paint
guaranteed
cans.
to last
But they
for
also
a lifetime of 2 years.
had a lot of issues with paint. I don't know if you know about all the lawsuits and stuff with Tesla and paint.
No, I didn't know any.
Yeah.
So tell me more about this.
Their cars are chipping after a month or two, being brand new.
Interesting.
And
Yeah, but
they're
that's got to be
having
under warranty. So
Yeah,
Because
but
they're so fast.
when you have,
breaking the sound barrier.
but if you look at the stats of the Cybertruck, they are really good compared to any other truck on the road.
yeah, no, I heard.
But-
I heard it has like 7,000 horsepower, 0 to 60 in
What's it-
negative
I mean,
4
like,
seconds.
is it competitive on the toe? Like the toe?
It's like double.
Oh
than-
wow.
A double.
It would only make sense because like a
Double-
motor's
double what?
torque's at 0 on those things, right?
Well, it's got more payload capacity. It's got more towing, more than anything on the market.
Oh,
But
I would love that. I
but
would love that if that was a selling point.
it's gonna
You'd be like,
change.
what do you?
Yeah.
What's the payload of this? Double.
Double
but
everything.
Of what?
Double.
Like, how
Double
fast
bubble.
does it go? Double. Like, all right, but like so
200,
it's like
400.
yeah,
Knowing Elon, he'd probably give a pack of gum to every
double.
every
It's-
sale.
It's double.
Why am
everything.
I getting the gum? It's double bubble.
Yep.
But no, his marketing lately has been across the board, and I don't know if he's doing it as a far reach to say, okay, let's get some people into this that haven't seen it before.
Goes to making waves.
Because
That's
right now
yeah,
he's
yeah.
making waves.
Yeah.
Dude, but
That's what he's
speaking
trying
of
to do.
creative, and as this being a creative podcast, one of the most creative guys, one of the most genius guys we have, like in our that exists right now.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean-
Elon. Yeah.
And we talked about this.
Flamethrowers.
We talked about this kind of pre-podcast today, about like creativity and like crazy kind of being hand in hand. Like
That has to be to an extent.
Like I mean, the further you get to like crazy, I think the more creative you become.
Or
you're
you could be-
cutting off your ear, but you're also like creating the most amazing paintings.
But you can also be too creative. I've got a client. I've said that to you before too. Like
I want that virus.
But it's an interesting thing. Like there was a company that was there was a squad of creatives above me in the studio. They had like 5 guys in there, and they ended up going out of business. And one of my clients was like, were they too creative? And I was like, that's an interesting thing to say. But yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I do feel like going to the design aspect of that, the look or the style for everything is like minimal. We want it minimal. We want it simplified. We want it this, and it's like you give them like something that has serifs or people that aren't designers, just like the tails on the end of letters, like
The platforms at the end of the T.
like Times New Roman. It's got those little tails on it. But you give things like that, and they're like, nope, we want it more simple. We want it more simple. And then it gets so simple that it's just like it's Arial font.
Right.
And it's
But I mean,
very
what you've said, as you said before.
Avenir. I've done Avenir so many times.
Oh God, and Avenir next. Yeah. But I mean, you've said it before. It's like it takes a lot of work to bring things down to the simple.
Oh right.
It really does, because you're like pushing away so many options, and it's really easy to clutter stuff.
Sure.
So it actually, it does take a lot of work.
Do
to
you
make things
encounter things like that in photography where you're like, oh my God, I got this great idea. We're gonna bring in lighting here. We're gonna have you stand here. You're gonna jump when the picture's taken. You're gonna do all these things, and they're just like simpler, and then basically it ends up being just like
You just have AstroTurf at the no one's even in the shot anymore.
yeah.
No,
Further.
I would dumb it down beforehand. I think when you give people all the options and you explain it all, it's too much. But if you're like, hey, we're gonna do this, I need you there, and there, and then I want you to turn and then look, click.
Do you ever do the test
They're
of light trick where it's like you're not even really like, because everyone gets too nervous or everyone gets a little bit camera shy if you actually do all the setup. So you're like, we're just gonna test light, and you end up using one of the shots.
Oh,
where you
yeah.
were testing light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like somebody saying that they blink constantly, and they're like, well, we need to figure that out. And then I'm like, well, I do this thing, so look right here, and then close your eyes. Let's just try it out. Close your eyes, and then open them on 3. 1, 2, 3. Click. Got it.
Boom.
And they're
Done.
like, oh,
Yep. Awesome.
Smarter than my tricks. Yeah.
I was gonna say on the
mine are-
audio level. I mean, on the production or the DJ thing. I mean,
Oh, I was gonna say even with like photography, what I would do is everybody close your eyes.
well, you don't
And
want
now-
him to do it because
and then I want
you'll open
everybody
up
to
and your
Photoshop
pants
him.
will be down.
Everybody close your eyes, and then I would take some eyes from like a Shutterstock image, and then I would use the exact same eyes for every person.
I love it.
They'd all be just like.
When we do our Christmas card for Creative Cult Podcast next time, you'll have to do that then. We'll all have the same eyeballs from like stock imagery or something.
Have you ever had to do that? Actually,
replace eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I have.
But you can't do it from. Yeah.
Not in a different individual.
Have you used the same eye and swapped it and put it on the other side?
Oh, it doesn't work.
No,
it looks weird.
You can't do that.
You have to grab it from a different picture.
Yeah.
That's
So if
crazy.
you that's I've done it with it's actually with infants actually.
Okay.
Infants are like I don't know your experience with that. Probably infants are the hardest to actually capture eyes open.
Oh, I just try to get them to go to sleep. Like eyes not
Just
open
have
at
your eyes
all.
open totally.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know the trick where you get them to like go like this and you hold underneath.
To know.
Oh yeah.
It puts is it
So
like a
you-
sleeper move for infants?
Have you seen that picture? Yeah, that picture where you got the infants like this and they're smiling and their eyes are closed and they take that picture. It's 2 shots in one. There's somebody
Ooh.
holding underneath like this and they take the picture. And then they come up like this and they hold the head and they take the picture again. I've done it.
That's ruined a lot. That's
What?
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna look at it the same
picture
anymore.
of my son in
I'm gonna
his
look for the
room
splice lines on
Yeah.
every single one of those.
where he's like this and he's sleeping. It's 2 shots in one.
I was wondering
Wow.
because I actually, when one of the pictures that you took, I was like, why does he have a black and white chin?
Or do they have like a little?
Why is he
like,
black
little
and white chin and then
standard
a
anything?
vivid color face?
It's like 17 takes where they had to grab the chin.
Dude, that's something, like speaking of image manipulation, I've been trying to get into like the humorous side of intentionally fucking things up where like, you know, I've seen a lot of them on like Deviant Art or Deviant Art. I don't know exactly how you say it, but it'll be like a fish head or it'll be like a fish body and a human head. And it looks really good and it's just stupid. And it'll be like a postcard. It'll be like, you know, 15% off fucking fish food or something. It makes no sense with a fucking human head on it, but it's just like they do these things and I'm like, I want to start doing that.
Just
This
intentionally,
dumb shit, like a camel with fucking Chris's legs.
But it's done well, is what you're saying.
yeah, it's done.
still-
It's done like you, and I think that's what it is. Is it's done really well. Like you don't give a shit and you fucked up and you just got lucky, but it's done so professionally that there's a lot of work to make it look like you just got lucky and it still looks good.
Yep.
I love that look.
There's
Yeah.
a guy that does that. I can't think of what his name is, but basically he does a bunch of Photoshop and he's very creative with what he does. But when people ask him to do certain things, he takes what they say literally.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
have you seen it where he'll say like, "Can you take the background out of this picture and like replace it with something else?" Instead of him actually replacing the background, he'll kind of do more. It's hard to explain, but
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
He'll-
he'll do more like negative things to it based off of their exact
yeah,
Feedback.
yeah.
you know,
Have you seen it? Yeah, and it's
Well, no, so
hilarious.
there's one
but-
that's a kitten one. Have you seen that?
Uh-uh.
So
No.
you have to have seen this as like a designer. I'll try to pull it up while we're still talking about it. But it's like
Cats in general.
it's a designer. It's big in like the design forums and things like that. But it's a guy who it's like a missing cat, and this guy takes what the girl says, and I don't know if it's a joke or if it's genuine, but he takes this like missing cat and he makes it literal. She's like, "Oh, the picture's too big," and like, or the cat's too big. Can you make it bigger? So he doesn't make it a little bit bigger. He makes it the whole size. She's like, "But now it's like way too big, and you can't even tell that it's a cat."
Just the
Like,
nose,
yeah.
like with some
Yeah.
and
words
she's
over
like,
it.
and,
Yeah.
and he's like, and he puts like a reward, like $10,000 on it or something. She's like, "Where do you get the $10,000? I didn't even say to put anything on for a reward." He's like, "Missing cat, no reward." Like he just is super literal. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, I think there's one where somebody goes, "Can you make my boyfriend look more attractive?" And then he literally cuts the guy's head out and puts Brad Pitt's head on.
I was gonna say, yeah, like just a standard.
Yeah, so
Uh,
it's Missy the cat. It's Missing Missy, and it's by David Thorne. Is that the guy you're thinking of? Maybe because I know he does mess with things.
Yeah, it's probably him.
But
But I
basically,
mean,
yeah,
that's a common grievance though, like among photographers, is having the feedback that you get from clients, and that's what he's. I mean, that's what he's riffing on. is the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that you just make it funny.
right. I mean, and from a designer's perspective, I know you guys have dealt with this too with photography and videography and design from both of you as well. But people are what they want and what they really need are always very different.
Oh yeah,
They're like, they think they're a designer, they think they're a photographer, and they are working through your hands, your equipment. And oftentimes it's like they're completely wrong, but the client is always right, kind of in a way.
right.
But so there's that fine line we have to like appease to or like appeal to what they want.
What they think they want.
Yeah.
Right,
But also still give them what's really right.
right.
which is it's crazy. So this is kind of what this guy does. And actually, I just linked it to both you guys. You might see it in the notes app here, but.
That's interesting, though, because, it actually ties together with DJing and that kind of thing, too, because you get people, like, requesting things, and you're like, well, maybe that's not the best thing to be playing right now at this scenario or this stage.
That's exactly it. I get that every weekend. Every weekend that I'm out, I get, why don't you play, and we always pick on, like, Nickelback and things like that, but they're like, why won't you play Sepultura or Pantera? I'm like, because this is a dance club.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't need people moshing right now or something.
I did an event about a couple weeks ago now, I think. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. And it was for, it was X Games pre-qualifier. And it was in collaboration with Optimus Batteries and all these other companies, Monster Energy and stuff. But they booked me to DJ. And typically, you guys know me, I'm like a club DJ, which is like your dance music. And they booked me to do like kind of like Nirvana, your older rock, kind of your Def Leppard, Van Halen, that kind of stuff,
Yep.
They booked me for that. Now, if I were to just go like, I'm going to play some fucking, Aqua Barbie Girl, you know what I mean? Like, they would go crazy. But so I played exactly what they wanted, but the people that came in still made requests for Aqua Barbie Girl, still made requests for like Katy Perry. And I'm like, you don't understand that this is not the format that I'm like signed up for, right?
Right.
So do you guys deal with that a lot as photographers?
What did you end up doing in that scenario? What did you do?
I ended up.
Did you stick with the format, or did you?
Well, luckily you can do stuff on the fly. It's a little different than photography because there's a right and a wrong, right?
Yeah.
For me, I can kind of pepper in like the background of, a top 40 song with like the vocals of like an old song. And
Did you do stuff like that?
Yeah.
Which is
so
kind of cool.
Did a couple little things like that on the fly, but.
Right on.
Yeah, we're playing like Papa Roach. And like, it's like Stone Sour,
Butterfly, or
yeah, a Crazy Town,
Town, yeah,
yeah. I played that song, and I think I put that into like a Jay-Z song.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't even remember exactly, but yeah, so
cool.
But it's different because I can do that on the fly, but with photography and videography, you can't just be like, oh,
I'm looking at it right now. He's got like the cat down here in the corner, missing. It's just like the bottom right of the screen. Yeah, that's freaking.
Do you deal with that
genius.
ever? But it's just like hodgepodge this thing together, dealing with the client, and like that crazy line of what's right, and you have to do what's wrong to make them happy to even get paid.
Yeah, I'd say mainly with weddings.
Is it
when that was? Yeah, because you have a timeline and you have it set, and you have to do certain things, and then they're like, I want to do this and this and this, and you're like, well, if we have time.
And I think it's going to differ on the client too, like how hard-nosed they are or how open-minded they are to your opinion on what they think that they want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like how much you can, use the word pepper, but like how much you can actually pepper in the correct method into what they think they want. Some of them are like, oh, that's what I really want then, and they'll bend, then it'll actually get better. Some of them are like, nope, this is what I want, and that's it. I mean, we've all probably had that.
I mean, even just DJing throughout the years, a few weddings when I was younger, and you guys doing photography, like you've done tons of wedding photography. That makes me never want to have a wedding. It makes me dislike.
That's the reason why.
Yeah.
Or the
it's
kids,
not the commitment,
the
or
baby photography and that kind of stuff.
But it makes me dislike the whole process because every girl that gets married, they're just so fucking stressed out. They're just, and they bring this like baggage of 9 months of preparation or 2 years of prepreparation. And they bring it down to a 1 day and to one person for the pictures to remember this stuff. And it's all on you.
Bridezilla still a term? I mean, that's a real thing. You're dealing with a woman at like her most stressful time in her entire life almost.
You deal with that a lot, Chris?
I've never had a bridezilla.
No.
Ever.
Really?
I've had the bride's mom be
Zilla.
a Zilla.
Bride's mom Zilla.
But never a bridezilla.
You ever have a guy be more of a bride or a groomzilla than the bride?
Ooh.
You like,
No.
You just coined it #groomzilla.
Most guys don't care. They're like, where do you want me? I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here now, and I'm going to be gone soon.
You're right. There's a lot of preparation, and all that work, it comes down to 1 day.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, I'm like, just enjoy it. Just do what you got,
tell them the
have
opposite.
fun.
Just say quit. Just get out.
While you can. Evacuate.
You did a good job. You got here, okay? You hired me. You got the pictures.
Right.
I mean, the wedding's all downhill. I mean, it's not going to be
It's
good.
going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only thing that's going to happen after this is you're going to have a kid. Look at me and be like, look at my life. Look at my life. I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
How we doing on that football score?
It's over. We lost.
We lost?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, did I call it? Are you serious?
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck yeah. I mean, oh, dude, that sucks, dude.
It
I
was
totally
close
thought we were
too.
gonna win, yeah.
Apparently, I mean,
Of course, you said it was like 18-19.
Yeah.
It's weird how I
within
foresaw that.
It's by 2
If
points.
I was a gambling man, I would have bet all of my inheritance, which is nothing. I would have bet it all.
21-19 final. Bears.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, savage.
But
Savage.
hey,
brutal.
this is what sucks. The only thing that sucks about the Vikings losing is that, like, at the end of the year, I know they can't keep losing and still keep playing. They're eventually going to be out.
Right.
And I love watching them lose so much that I wish they could keep playing to just keep losing. So all the people that are these diehard fans and they're wearing this stuff and they're just crushed, and then I'm just walking around.
The weird thing with the Vikings though is you get like you'll be going driving on the road. I mean, it used to be more so, I guess, but it's like you'll have the amount of stickers or emblems on the vehicles like decrease.
Oh,
some
good.
do, but then some people go the other direction with it, and now they're like their car's purple. Jones is, I mean,
Oh yeah.
we had the friends like
Get
he had
some
the
buddies, yeah.
spray painted their Class 5 rock in front of their townhouse purple too.
They
It's just like-
had a whole like downstairs dedicated.
as they
room
were
to
doing worse, they just amped it up as if like the decor was actually going to like
we're-
increase their chances of winning.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man,
I know. Obviously, we know why we lost. I mean, based off of the amount of purple in the state, we're down by about 2 spray cans. We got to
the amount of
up
ratio
that.
of purple colors,
Yeah.
purple and gold changed.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I could see that where people actually try to compensate. You know,
Yeah.
because I'm pretty open-minded, but I'm also a little, like dark on like sports. I'm just like, oh, it's fucking stupid.
Likewise.
You're watching some fucking dudes run around. We were talking about, me and Chris were talking about this earlier. I was like, you're watching some dudes fucking run around, fucking in some leotards.
It's a ball, man.
Some leotards with some fucking
Stretchy pants.
1980s businesswoman fucking shoulder pads running around, fucking bobbing heads getting brain injuries.
We
Like,
say this in a safe room right now, but
Oh,
back
yeah.
in high school it was a little different because it'd be like, "What'd you say, little fucking nerd?"
oh
Like,
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
be,
No,
like,
I
slammed in the
played
wall.
football, and the only reason I played it is because I was like a little bitch if I didn't.
Right. That's exactly how it was. Or you got your ass kicked.
And then I realized even
Understand.
if I was playing, I was still a little bitch.
Hockey was
Didn't
me.
change.
It was still and it was the same way. I just
Yeah?
avoid checking. I was like, I don't know, I just like hockey for hockey.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like brutalize anyone, and then I'd get fucking smashed.
But the amount of people that are so diehard into sports is insane.
oh, it's
The
almost
people that when you see people that are never, now I quote, you can quote me here, never in my entire life will you ever see me dressed up for a sporting event. You'll see me dressed up like a fucking pumpkin. You'll see me dressed up a cross dress for Halloween or something. You'll see me do that 1,000 times over
large flower pattern.
before you see me cut my hair a certain way or dye my fucking face purple or
Yeah.
put some like marks under my face or even wear a fucking jersey that has another man's name on my back.
You wouldn't wear a Vikings jersey.
That's
to a
interesting.
Vikings game.
That's the same.
You
I've
will
always been that
never
way too.
see
It's
that.
like, why would I wear somebody else's name on my body?
Yeah.
This is me now. Like, what?
Like, am I trying to be you?
Yeah, it never made sense to me. But I know that that's not a common.
No, it's not common at all. It's,
I sometimes wear my Vikings jersey while watching the game with my Vikings hat on.
Is your name on the jersey?
No,
Why wouldn't you put your own name on
yeah.
I haven't gotten around to.
there?
I probably would.
You should have asked for
I
that
should get
for
one.
Christmas
Yeah.
instead of your fucking
Ryan could design that
snowman,
shit.
floating snowman briefs or whatever you got. Your,
Done. I mean,
Yeah.
I would wear a Vikings jersey with my own name on it. Is that a like
You know,
copyright
I would do
faux pas
that.
or
And
something?
I like the logos and I like some of the colors and I'm like, I hate the look of a jersey. I think it looks kind of fucking tacky. It's
Fonts
just
are kind of
baggy.
cool sometimes.
But like I could see like some branded stuff like, oh, that's a cool shirt, right? Like the Minnesota Twins or something. I like the logo, so I'll wear it. Just like I'd wear a Nike shirt or something, right? But like having another dude's name on me seems
Strange.
like no homo, but it seems very gay.
But I mean, it's just one person. So like a company logo, right? Like a swoosh, you have like a whole brand behind you there.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. But like, that's a person's name. That's a person. That's one person.
What does that mean when you wear that? Because I'm not knocking you, but I'm also very much knocking you. So when you wear another
Under
man's
fire.
name on your back, what does that do for you? Why can't you just wear it without the name?
Is it gonna? It's like, are they gonna do better then? Is it almost like making things more purple, putting more stickers on things?
No, it's that player. If they're a good player, you're kind of supporting that player.
But they're all good. Everyone that's in there is good because they
pros.
can't be
No,
shitty
no,
at me
no,
in there.
Not every. If you look at it, there's a lot of people that aren't very good.
Well, I mean,
Um,
based off of all professionals, yeah, there's got to be less professional
it
professionals.
helps
are good
them win to a percent, right?
by you wearing their name
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I think it helps.
For them knowing that, so like, do you
Yeah.
think that they showed them the stats? Be like, you sold
Yeah.
10,000
Yep.
jerseys this last week, so you better fucking perform. Do you think that's held over their head?
Yeah.
Yo,
Do you
so
think it actually influences their abilities?
It's a number.
Chris, if you ever listened
That's actually a good point, though. I think it actually probably does
I
contribute.
think that's what pushes them over the line to make it to the
like,
playoffs.
damn, these people are like they're on. I'm wearing them on my shoulders.
I'll tell you though,
Ooh.
one thing, I don't think I would ever buy another Vikings jersey with someone's name on it. Not after you hearing that, or not after you saying this, but because
nice.
a
We have
year.
changed
No, just listen. Because
Life pattern.
if they're playing for the Vikings now, 2 years from now they probably won't be, and then you have a jersey with a name that doesn't play for them.
Yeah, but then
and that's happened.
That's
multiple
all
times.
we're just about.
So
financial responsibility.
That's what this is.
That's all this is
Creative
about. Yeah,
financial
yeah.
responsibility.
So I would rather get one with my name on it or no name because I know that I can wear it 3 years from now.
or it becomes more valuable depending on how good they are down the road on a different team. Because that's true, right?
But you could always add the name later.
Chris D'Elia, have you ever heard of his podcast before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations. So he does this bit, and it's and he like summing it up in the simplified way. He's like, anybody that's wearing another dude's name on their back, if that person sees them in public, that guy gets to fuck them.
I like the rule. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I've thought this my whole life. I've never thought that specifically, but I'm like, oh my God, for sure.
That's how I've lived.
Wear whatever you want. Wear all of the jerseys. Wear all of the men's names on your back. Wear every team, every single player you could. I'll buy them for you. But if any of those guys ever see you at any game, and I'll take you to the games, I'll pay for the games.
Right.
I'll even bring you backstage. But then when you get fucked by the whole team,
Savage.
I mean, it's worth it.
That's funny. That's funny that you said that. I've never actually heard him say that, but that's. I mean, I'm along the same lines of like the way that I've always been with like having another dude's name on my back. It's like, hey, I wore my own name.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
I'm comfortable with having other guys' names on my back.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know about you guys, but
logos.
I'm
logos.
comfortable with that.
DC. I mean, logos are fine for me. Although I have no brand.
just
on
but
me.
I mean, you don't
somebody's
really
name.
draw the line with like, other guys' names on your back. You're also like other guys have been on your back.
So that's why it's
it's
gained
okay.
a little bit of it's been dulled. The senses.
So
there.
you've never put on underwear in the morning and you looked over and it has someone else's name on it? Like it doesn't have your name on it. It says Hanes. And you're like,
It's a brand, though.
It's not a
Once again, it's just
dude.
like a whole team of people.
It's a
So,
brand.
This whole time, Chris has been like thinking he's putting some Haynes dude's name on his Express.
Craig Haynes.
Who the fuck is this Express guy, dude? He's got a lot of underwear. He's fucking.
He's putting out a lot of products.
Yeah.
So getting off the underwear, it's gonna be very difficult to get off this topic because it's so amazing. Going forward, we are going to be doing kind of fun little quirky games and stuff like that. We'll be doing like Truth or Dare, Craigslist ads, Facebook Marketplace ads as well. So if you guys have any suggestions, or even if you guys have people that you think would be great guests to be on the podcast, I implore you to reach out to us at Instagram or Facebook, again on Creative Cult Pod, or tccult.com, or you can even, I think you could probably even just drop it in like the video message or the video comments
DMs
and stuff
on the
of
IG might be
YouTube
good.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So pretty much anywhere you see the Creative Cult Podcast. So this is kind of like our kickoff podcast, just a little loosey goose kind of. The upcoming ones will be a little more structured, I would say. We'll have
Guest oriented.
a bunch of guests and stuff. We wanted to kind of introduce some of the people that are behind the camera, and that there'll be other people that we'll get on here intermittently. So we appreciate you guys listening, and
List off the channels that we're on here.
yeah. So why don't you do that, and then after that, Chris, if you could just tell them where they can find you, where they can see some of your work, photography. Again, amazing work. So definitely, you guys check them out. But,
So yeah, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yep.
On
Yeah.
all the things.
You're on them all now.
Yeah.
Wow.
we're more than you.
Ooh, yeah. No,
Our social media is better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours.
a bunch of different places. I think the main place that I post now is Instagram. I think that's where everything's going. So
Yeah, same.
at Star Image Photos.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been the first episode, and we did it.
Till next time.